The life story of Christian Horner, how he became the youngest boss in Formula One. Christian Horner is now an undisputed part of the Formula One world, a former racing driver who founded his own team at a young age before becoming team boss of Red Bull Racing. Horner appears to be more motivated than ever today, 16 years later. Christian had to start as a driver to get to where he is now in Formula One management. He became a manager after establishing Arden International Race Team at the age of 25. Now, the British manager is in charge of an 800-strong crew with a primary goal of winning the F1 championship for his team in collaboration with Honda. Welcome back to our channel, and in today's video, we will show you the life story of the youngest Formula One boss ever. Without wasting any more time, let's get started. Christian Horner was born on November 16, 1973 in Warwickshire, England. A sizable portion of the racing community believes Horner was born into a family with a long history in the automotive industry. His father and grandfather ran a business that supplied engine manufacturers with parts. Unsurprisingly, Horner grew up with a passion for automobiles. Christian Horner's first vehicle was a kart, which his mother, Sarah Horner, had purchased for him. Jamie and Guy Horner, his two older brothers, raised him. Horner's racing career began in 1991 after he won a Formula Renault scholarship. A year later, in 1992, he competed in the British Formula Renault Championship. The following year, he advanced to British Formula 3, finishing second in the Class B Championship with P1 Motorsport, where he won 5 races. In 1996, he also raced in Formula 2 in the United Kingdom. Horner moved up to Formula 3000 in 1997, forming the Arden team. In one interview, he claims that he started the team with borrowed money, including a loan from his father, convinced P1 Motorsport founder Rolly Vincini to become his race engineer, and purchased a used trailer from Helmut Marko. As the head of the Red Bull Junior team, he was one of Horner's main at 3,000 rivals. After the season, Horner decided to retire from racing in order to focus on expanding the Arden team, believing that he was not as fast as the best of the drivers he was competing against and lacked their passion. This story goes something like this. During a test in 1998, Horner, then 25, was driving behind Juan Pablo Montoya at the Estoril circuit when he realized he lacked the racing drive that he saw in Montoya. At that point, Horner decided to retire as a driver and devote his full attention to the development of the Arden team. In doing so, he took a big risk because he lacked one of the most important things in the Formula One world: money. Horner had to borrow money from banks and his father and wiggle around to put together the budget for another season with 2 cars. Then there was ProDrive owner Dave Richards. They were collaborating with Lukoil, a Russian oil company that wanted to purchase a 50% stake in the team. This was due to the boss's son, Viktor Maslov, wishing to compete in Formula 3000. When Richards asked Horner how much it would cost to become a 50/50th shareholder in Arden, Horner responded, a completely ridiculous amount, to which Richards agreed. The budget problem was then resolved. He bought back the share from Lukoil a year later. Christian Horner became Red Bull Racing's team principal and Red Bull Technologies chief technology officer in 2005. Horner is the current F1 paddock's longest-serving team principal, having received the OBE in 2013 for his contributions to motorsport. If you didn't know what OBE is, it stands for Order of the British Empire. King George V established the Order of the British Empire in 1917 to honor those who had served in a non-combative role, and expanded the order to reward contributions to the arts, sciences, charitable work, and public service. Now coming back to our story, how did Horner's journey as the hotshot Formula One boss really begin? Red Bull purchased Jaguar's Formula One team in the fall of 2004, and Christian Horner, who was eager to have his own team in Formula One, was named team principal in January 2005. Horner, at the age of 32, became the youngest team manager in history. Horner had only a few weeks before the start of the new season, but he still managed to finish 4th and 7th in the Australian Grand Prix with drivers David Coulthard and Christian Klein. That year, the team scored 34 points, a significant improvement over the previous year's total of 9 points. Red Bull had no luck between 2005 and 2009. Adrian Newey joined Red Bull Racing as CTO in November 2005, a move in which Horner played a key role. Horner jumped into the pool wearing nothing more than a Superman cape after the team's first podium with David Coulthard in 2006. That year, Robert Dornbos was promoted to test and reserve driver, driving the final 3 races of the season in place of Christian Klein. When Mark Webber joined Red Bull in 2007, the team switched from Ferrari to Renault engines. They were, however, plagued by reliability issues and experienced a high number of dropouts. 2008 was also a trying year for Coulthard, who announced his retirement at the end of the season. But it was 2009 that changed everything for Red Bull. When Sebastian Vettel joined the team, the reliability issues were mostly resolved. He and Webber won 6 races between them. Red Bull's dominance began in 2010, and it would last 4 years. Sebastian Vettel was crowned world champion, and Red Bull won the Constructors' Championship. Horner became the youngest team owner to win an F1 championship. The team also won the Constructors and Drivers' Championships in 2011, 2012, and 2013. That dominance, however, came to an end when the hybrid era entered Formula One. Renault failed to develop a dependable and competitive hybrid power source, and the team began with a backlog that continues to this day, despite visible progress in recent years. Under Christian Horner's leadership, a tight-knit team with a good atmosphere has emerged, but everyone is expected to give their all. Horner always strives to get the most out of each team member while remaining respectful of others' expertise. There's no point in hiring a specialist and then telling them how to do their job, he says. This is evident in the working methods of the team's pit crew, who all know their job and cooperate admirably even when under duress. Horner has transformed Red Bull Racing into a well-oiled machine in which all departments work in unison. But one thing remains to be done: win championships. Horner, now 47, will undoubtedly want to be the one to lead the team to new heights, and he will not be able to think about anything else until that time. This was the story of the youngest Formula One boss who had a passion for racing, just not as a driver. Now let's talk a bit about his personal life. Christian Horner was not a particularly well-known figure in the media until he began publicly dating Geri Halliwell. Horner's celebrity as a former Spice Girl quickly elevated her to prominence in the British tabloids. Horner and Halliwell announced their engagement in November 2014 and married the following May. They had a son together in 2017 and live happily in the British countryside. Let me tell you a story involving Christian Horner, his wife Geri Halliwell, and his racing career. Around 1996, when Horner was still racing, a cake-making company called Elizabeth's Chef sponsored him, and the owner promised to pay Christian a little more money if their cakes could sell more. The owner also told that they are making a deal with a girl band to help increase sales. This could be a great opportunity for Christian Horner, as around that time he was not getting a lot of sponsorships. And magically enough, the sales of the cake company skyrocketed, and the company financed Christian Horner's initial career. Well, this story is interesting because that girl band was the Spice Girls. So indirectly, his now wife Geri Halliwell supported his career without even knowing him. If that's not destiny, tell me what is. With Christian's net worth estimated to be around $50 million and Geri close behind with an impressive $40 million, it's no surprise that the 49-year-old Ginger Spice and the 48-year-old F1 bigwig are having the time of their lives. Geri received a diamond ring valued at $106,000 when the couple got engaged in 2014. You'd be correct if you assumed the couple would own more than one luxury home. While most celebrities spend their money on flashy party mansions, Geri and Christian prefer to keep their properties more traditional. They prefer to stay at a Banbury country estate. Geri is frequently seen on Instagram feeding their donkeys, horses, goats, and chickens, one of which is named Ginger. Like other millionaires, Christian Horner also have flashy cars that might blind you with their shine. And why not? After all, he is a car lover himself. This brings us to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it. What do you think about Christian Horner? Do you think he is the most successful Formula One boss? Let us know in the comment section below, and we will pin the best comment. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to watch more amazing videos like this, and we will see you in the next one.